Here's to hugging corners, not cutting them. To grinding away, not grinding to a halt. Here's to those who stay true to the old saying, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. From Tallboy Storage to the latest line of extreme grip hand tools, Craftsman is there when it matters.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are coming to you from Lima Land Motorsports Park for round number 3 of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series here on iRacing Live, RaceSpot TV, and of course Dirt Vision. I am Cameron Walsh, that is Randy Chenoweth, and in the production it is Hugo Louis. Randy, round number 3 here of the Sprint Car Series. I have to say that it has been playing second fiddle to the late models, but you never know. Here we've got a very short track here today that's going to be a little bit different than we've been used to.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've not seen these sprint cars on this little quarter-mile track yet on RaceSpot TV. We've seen the non-winged cars run here, also seen some midgets and whatnot, but never seen the winged cars, and these little quarter-mile bull rings can always put on a pretty special display at these little short tracks. I think we might be in for a good night.
And so, of course, if you're just getting with the show, where have you been? We are going to have 4 heats of consolation race, and then, of course, the feature, which will be a 30-lap feature we have on the docket. So, of course, we've got the whole cast and crew here available. It's probably some 20-25 cars off the easy. Looking at the championship standings right now, Tim Ryan on his victory 3 weeks ago now with 127 points. Howard Weaver not that far behind, and Alex Bergeron still right there as well. You get a little distant, you get Cameron Dance, Ryan Pace, Ricky Port, and Adam Ellie, and the list goes on and on. And Randy, I have to say, the Sprint Car Series, the point standings are very, very tight. However, the racing is something that, well, I think we're all just going to have to kind of hold our breath and fingers crossed, simply because, you know, the late model cars, they've been managing to put on a great show. These sprint cars, we've been waiting for a very good dance. Hopefully we can get one here at Lima Land.
Yeah, let's hope we can get a good one indeed. But like you said about the point standings, we're already seeing those who can be consistent starting to stretch out here. You look at those names: Tim Ryan, Howard Weaver, Alex Bergeron at the top of the championship standings. Those guys have pretty much been at the top of the board all season long. Tim's led laps. Howard's not finished, I think, out of the top 7 across 4 races in all these World Championship Series. Alex has won a couple rounds and been there, been close, and Cam Dance been there as well. But it's really those 3 names, I think, that have stood out over the entire group of Dirt World Championship level drivers in these World of Outlaw Craftsman Championship Series events.
Yeah, and so we are getting ready here for heat number 1. Let's get ready to rumble here in Ohio. So we've got Alex Bergeron. He's ended up the one taking the qualifying, so he's going to be the one to take heat 1 into the night, as Chris Brenner is going to be his outside. Nick Cooper starting in 3rd. Howard Weaver will be starting in 4th position. And we've got Britton Roxbury, Weston Newell, Bradley Cash, Justin Thomas, and Michael Sheridan. Top 4 goes directly to the feature. The rest are going to have to drive their way in, with the top 4 from that consolation race will then pick up the last 4 positions in the feature event. So, I'll have to say, cars are rolling, Randy. It's been quite a couple of weeks. It's been enough weeks where we could probably reference a 90s pop song, but we will not, because we're better than that, and simply say 9 cars ready to rumble.
I'm not sure why you'd want to reference Barbie Girl, Cam. It's beyond me, but these guys get going out, and Alex doing a good job. He's showing very good speed, takes pole here, and be bringing us to the green flag on the point of this first heat race. I think that 12 car, he's going to be in for a very good night. Chris Brenner, Nick Cooper as well, name that we saw run very strong here in the late models a couple of weeks ago. I think that 3rd place starter in this heat race, that 35 machine, could be in for a very good night as well as they head off towards 3 and 4 to get heat 1 started.
And the pace truck diving for the first time to the safety of pit lane. It is in the right foot of Alex Bergeron. He lets it go. His 410 wing sprint car takes the screen here at Limaland Motorsports Park for heat number 1.
Down the back straightaway for the first time, Nick Cooper is actually going to lose that third spot. Howard Weaver is wheeling it up on the top. Top side seems strong right now, and he moves himself up into that third position. Now Britton Roxbury, he wants to try to move his way forward, but he has a very, very, let's say, busy triple 2 car trying to make moves. A little bit of contact with the 35 Nick Cooper. We got one car on its side on the exit of 4.
Yeah, and so we've already got one car out, and it is now going to be the retirement of Britton Roxbury, so he's going to have to find his way in. You've got Alex Bergeron. He's got about 3 lengths over Chris Brenner. Chris Brenner's got about 5 over Howard Weaver. We got Nick Cooper as we hit halfway in heat number 1. So Nick Cooper, all he really has to do is just finish the race at this point. He'll get himself a ticket.
That's basically the big thing, is a little bit of contact to get in the back. Bradley Cash and Weston Newell, they're scrapping it out for that 5th spot, and finishing up there is important for starting positions for the B main a little bit later tonight as they come through. Going to have 3 laps remaining in this heat race. A couple of these guys trying and failing to run the top. 21 of Michael Sheridan rode the wall. I think he just broke that number 21 machine. He's going to have to pull it off. Rear axle not pointing the correct direction as Alex is getting ready to get the white.
He did manage to get into the pit lane correctly, though, so good on him. But yeah, for the number 12 machine, he's getting ready to bring up and capture the checkered flag. Of course, there are points available here in the heats, so good on him. So Alex Bergeron takes heat number 1. Chris Brenner is going to be taking heat number 2, or position number 2. Howard Weaver in 3rd. Nick Cooper in the 4th position. Then we got Bradley Cash, and then it is Newell, Thomas, Sheridan. Roxbury is going to be the retirement. So, we have, as you're getting used to now, 2 tickets. You can count them on 2 fingers. 1, 2. Of any World of Outlaws series event that you want to go to. All you have to do, that's you, the YouTube chat, and you, the YouTube chat alone, has to put exclamation mark WOO, not zeros, the WOO for World of Outlaws, tickets. So it's exclamation mark WOO tickets, and you enter a raffle that we pull just before the feature event, I believe it is, Randy, and you can get yourself a couple of tickets to a race of your choice anywhere that the World of Outlaws are having a show.
Yep, we'll pull your name at the end of the night before the feature after the last chance qualifier, but we got our second heat race gritting its way out right now, Cam, and there's a lot of big names in this one, a lot of big names starting outside of that top 4 starting position.
Yeah, so we've got Austin Semmelman, Ryan Pace. We'll see what he can do. Tim Ryan is your point leader. He's starting in 3rd. Then you got James Edens, David Heilman, Rusty Kruger, Philip Diaz, Dan Smolders, and then you have Dylan Semmelman. So we managed to have both Semmelmans in one heat. So Pace truck looking to
one at the point, one at the back.
Yeah, right? And so as the Pace truck looks to go past the starter stand one more time, he will pull into the safety of pit lane as Austin Semmelman, he won't hesitate. He lets it go. He sends them sideways as they go into quarter number 1 for heat number 3.
And Ryan falling in a little bit of traffic early. Let's see if we'll be able to make that top side hold on. Maybe pick himself up into that second spot. The 44 of Ryan Pace is trying to run that middle groove, but now he's going to slide himself up to that top lane as Austin Semmelman is left away really early with this race lead. Ryan Pace, Tim Ryan, David Heilman make up your top 4 transferees, but James Edens is trying to make something of this run on the low side. And 1 and 2, can he get the momentum? I don't think that top side has dried out quite enough yet because still a lot of speed to be found up there. The 52 doing a good job holding on and at least keeping the 5 of Heilman honest.
Yeah, and I think that James Edens is sort of the one that always tends to go to the inside. He's the one that experiments. He wants to see what he can do. He is closing in on David Heilman. If he's almost going to have to start pressuring Tim Ryan because he needs some safety. Tim Ryan, they have a little bit of a kerfluffle, and Tim Ryan will drop now down to 5th position. So just like that, one little wheel contact, Randy sent him out to 5th position. He's now on the outside looking in.
And blink of an eye, that's all it takes sometimes, as the 18 of Austin Selman is pretty much free and clear. 5 Machine and David Heilman's got himself up in his second comfortably now, and they're going to be 3 wide for this third spot between Ryan Pace, James Edens, and Tim Ryan. Tim is trying to make something happen up top. That 52 of James Edens running about a lane down is really able to hook it up and is making it work as Austin's getting ready to take the checkered, and Tim wants that 4th spot bad.
Yeah, so it is Austin Selman taking the first position. They're coming almost 2, almost 3 wide coming off the tip, but it's not going to happen. James Edens is going to be taking position number 4 off of a wheel knock from David Heilman and Ryan Pace. That is going to send the car of Tim Ryan to the consolation. Feast or famine, as it were. But you know what, though? He's going to be starting pretty up front there, Randy, so he should, in theory, have a pretty decent shot at getting into the main now.
Yeah, that's definitely the really the big situation here as we're getting ready for our 3rd and final heat race right now. It's Kurt Setter, Neben, Cabre, McKinney, LB, Dance, Tony DeBell, and Dawkins.
Yeah, so as the Pace truck is on its way, as we have the 3 heats, we're skipping the 4th, as that is just how many we have here today. I believe it's 25 sprint cars on the docket, 410 wing sprint cars ready to rock and roll here. So we need to get ready here. Oh, it's our final heat. We'll have to see how that consolation goes out. That consolation just became a much bigger event when your points champion leader is now going to have to race his way into the show. So Robert Kerstetter, he's going to find his way here on the inside. AJ Nibien on his outside. We got Cabre and McKinney. Your final 2 there behind in 3rd and 4th. Robert Kerstetter will do the same that all the other leaders did. He'll let it go early, but he's not going to have it easy because AJ Nibien is trying hard on the inside.
Robert Kerstetter is going to hop up to the top side. He'll pick it up. Will Neben trying to work that middle groove. Cabre up top trying to make something happen as well, as we got a whoop car halfway around down the front straightaway.
And so AJ Nibben, he's been trying that inside line, but he's been slowly working his way up. Where's one car in the wall? That's Cameron Dance. He's going to now drop himself to the final position as Toby DeVille gets shot up to the top, as there goes Cameron Dance to the inside. So there you go, a couple of training positions in the back. But you know what, though? For Adam Elby, he's the one that is in that 4th position. It's Matthew McKinney who's on the outside looking in.
That's really the big thing right now, and he's very, very close. He's got a couple cars just out in front of him that are racing side by side of Chase Cabre and Adam Elby. He needs to try to take advantage of these two, really duking it out, maybe force a mistake from one of these guys. The 4 Machine up top is going to try to hook something up, and he's going to be able to get away from that number 17 car, 74 of Elby as well. Now comfortably in that 4th spot. McKinney still just cruising behind, not quite able to make something of this just yet.
Yeah, and I do believe they do have a fight going on for the 3rd and 4th position. That's not what you like to see. AJ Neben is on the inside, Adam Elby's on the outside. If one of these guys touch or push each other wide, I'm sure Matthew McKinney is going to be happy about that one, as I do see Adam Elby kind of ride that outside wall, but it is going to be Robert Kerstetter taking him down the backstretch one last time. Chase Cabre is going to be pulling to the inside, but he's not going to be able to get the overshoot. Robert Kerstetter going to take heat number 3. So Atlanta is going to be Robert Kerstetter, Chase Cabre, Adam Elby, AJ Nibben, Matthew McKinney, Toby DeBeal, Cameron Dance, and then Jesse Dacus. We now have our consolation run ready to go. We're going to have a 15-lap run. Should be 4 cars going to the feature, and we will see what they do. So, Randy, we've had some pretty decent heats. The big thing, though, since it's a quarter-mile track, the track is quite a bit more worn in than what we would see at a normal race track.
It's not much worse, because after all, the lap counts haven't changed. It's just a smaller circuit. But yeah, the track's looking really different. There's been some changes in the build, changes to the cushion, as well as to the track drying out a bit more, trying to get more different groove racing coming in. So I think for that reason, we're starting to see the track really kind of, I don't want to say become bottom dominant, but I think that top side is getting harder and harder to run. I think a lot of people got used to autopiling that top groove on the last build, and we've seen a few cars go up there and bicycle it on the left side tires.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a shorter racetrack. It is a bit more of a bowl, so perhaps they're also just trying to get themselves up a little bit to the Eldora line, which isn't gonna work here. But either way, consolation grid time. We have Bradley Cash and Tim Ryan. It's gonna be your starting 1-2. So, Weston Newell is going to be starting in the 4th position. Matthew McKinney is inside in the 3rd. Philip Diaz, Toby DeBeal, Justin Thomas, Dan Smolders, Cameron Dance, Michael Sheridan. You got Rusty Kruger, Jesse Dacus, Britton Roxbury, and then Dylan Semmelman is going to be the one rounding out your top 14. Just getting word from the Racing Control. Top 8 are going to be the ones that transfer to the feature top 8. So that means that at 8th and 9th position, Randy, are going to be the ones that are fighting for that position as the pace truck comes to pull into pit lane to start the consolation. Bradley Cash getting ready to rock and roll. He lets it go. We now have 15 laps on the docket. Top 8 go.
They head down the back straight for the first time. Bradley Cash able to stretch away early. The 98 of Tim Ryan, though, going to try to hook up the top. Already see people trying different grooves. Cars on the bottom, cars in the middle, cars up against the wall as well. Tim Ryan, that Evolution Racing team number 98, is doing a good job up top to really keep that 28 machine of Bradley Cash honest. Bradley gets a little tight in the middle at 3 and 4. That allows the 98 to pull alongside, and Tim Ryan has moved into your race lead down the back straightaway, running up against the cushion.
Yeah, Cam Dance did end up getting a good shove into that outside wall. He spun. He just got that thing around. He's almost in front of the leaders here as Cam Dance now parking it into the outside wall. Is he going to come down in front of the leaders? He'll have to pull that car up, and he does just that. He hits Tim Ryan, and there goes Cameron Dance sitting in the outside wall. But either way, Cameron Dance getting absolutely thrown around there, and I think everybody took a bite out of that one.
Yeah, not a great situation whatsoever, but I think everyone somehow just got a glancing blow off of that. As the 98 of Tim Ryan still out in the race lead. Bradley Cash 2nd, Diaz 3rd. McKinney rounds out your top 4. Scrap for your last transfer spot is heating up. That's going to be the 10 car of Rusty Kruger, who held on to it at the start of the last lap, and he still has it for now. But he has the 75 of Jesse Dacus, as well as I believe that's Dan Smolders in the 211 right with him as well. 3 cars all scrapping for 7th, 8th, 9th, and there's a couple cars 10th and 11th behind as well. So the bubble spot is very, very tight, and I think that was the 75 of Dacus having a slight mistake on the bottom, and now someone else is on the wall up top.
I'm not sure whom that one is, but maybe Toby DeBeal or Britton Roxbury, I think it was, as the retirements are coming in. But you know what? Tim Ryan, however, is the one hovering that top high side wall. He's seeing what he can. He hasn't really experimented on his own here to go down to the dock side, but as we close in on 4 to go, the battle for 2nd position is getting tight and hardy. It's Matthew McKinney and Bradley Cash right now. That 8th position is your transfer spot. That's Rusty Kruger and Dylan Semmelman. Dylan having worked his way through the field as one car goes to the wall. It's Dan Smolders. That opens up another spot for the transfer, Randy.
Yeah, that was that 2-letter Dan Smolders making a big mistake up on the top side here in the closing laps of this B main. Tim Ryan still holding honest up top. The 51 of Matt McKinney, I think, made a mistake in 1 and 2. Luckily for him, he had a nice little buffer back to that 3rd spot, so he'll be able to hold on to it, but still have Cash and Diaz trying to make things happen on that middle groove, and I think they're starting to move up a little bit.
Yeah, so it is going to be Tim Ryan, easy peasy. He's got himself that jump after that big scare with Cameron Dance coming ahead of him as the white flag comes out here in the consolation. Again, top 8 are going to be coming out here to the train main, as it will be Tim Ryan. He will take the checkered flag, then it's going to go back further. So we'll see here. No challenge then for the position 8 because they had separated themselves. That means that Justin Thomas is going to be your final transfer position. A couple seconds behind is going to be Jesse Dacus. So taking a look at the results here for your consolation. It is Tim Ryan, Matthew McKinney, Philip Diaz, Bradley Cash, and then Weston Newell, Rusty Kruger, Dylan Semmelman, and then Justin Thomas. Those are the ones that transfer. The guys that have to pack it up to the trailers and head on home is Jesse Dacus, Michael Sheridan, Dan Smolders, Britton Roxbury, Toby DeBeal, and Cameron Dance. So, since we don't have that 4th heat, a little bit of less time, so you know what? While they warm these things up, everyone gets used to the track. We're going to take a quick ad break. We're going to come back, and we're going to pull a name out of a proverbial hat. So those tickets in here, exclamation mark, WOO tickets.
Did you know your DirtVision.com account gives you free access to our on-demand video library? From the DirtVision.com homepage, click on Demand Video near the top right of the screen. And from there, countless hours of World of Outlaws footage awaits at your fingertips. Watch every lap of the current World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series season.
Sheldon Haudenschild looking for a run. Dives low into turn 3, slide job! Sheldon Haudenschild to the cushion. Johnson turns it back underneath him, but Sheldon leads lap 23.
Or dive into some of the historical options with videos in our Classics section.
He has clear visibility, comes off the fourth turn in the clear, and leads lap number 1.
It's all available free and on demand on DirtVision.com.
410 winged sprint cars all around the Limaland Motorsports Park as the warm-up session is almost complete. Yes, we have our feature field here ready to do the dance. 20 machines are ready to rock and roll here at Limaland Motorsports Park. But Randy, before we do that, of course, you're watching here on iRacing Live, RaceSpot TV, and DirtVision.com. Randy, we've got a name to pull out of the hat because somebody is going to get 2 tickets to the World of Outlaws race of their choosing for the 2018 season.
That we do, and before we start gridding this A main, I'm going to roll it right now. The winner is going to be Tron 3K Gaming. Thank you. I will get a hold of you at the end of the broadcast. Be sure to stick around. Do not leave so I can get a hold of you and get some contact information. We've had that happen last week. Guy who won kind of sprint away. We couldn't find any information on him anywhere. So be sure to stick around as we get ready for the feature event. 30 laps on the docket here. 20 cars ready to do battle.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the starting grid. And it will be Alex Bergeron leading us off here into the dusk at Limaland Motorsports Park in the great state of Ohio. Austin Selman is going to be starting his outside. Robert Kerstetter will be starting in 3rd position. Then it goes to Chris Brenner in that 70 machine starting in 4th. David Heilman, Chase Cabre, Howard Weaver is going to be starting back in the 7th position. Ryan Pace, Adam Elby, Nick Cooper, James Edens is going to be starting 11th. Then you've got AJ Nieben. Tim Ryan did end up making the race, but he's got a lot of work to do here over the course of the 30 laps. Matthew McKinney, Philip Diaz, Bradley Cash, Weston Newell, Rusty Kruger, Dylan Semmelman, and Justin Thomas rounding out your 20-car field as the pace truck for hopefully the final time, but let's be honest here, maybe not. Is going to pull into the safety of pit lane. Can we get this thing underway without any issues? It is the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car World Championship Series here on iRacing, coming to you, corner number 1.
To corner number 1, the 2 VLR teammates of Bergeron and Selman. Don't harass each other too much, but they're 3 wide for that 3rd spot in the 5 machine of Heilman down on the bottom. Chris Brenner and Robert Kerstetter putting him in a bit of a sandwich. They head off towards 1 and 2, and they fan out into whatever position they're running in. Big gaggle of cars, pretty much most of the field, at least 2 by 2.
Yeah, so they managed to keep it clean so far, though the battle right now for 4th position is quite heading off as Chris Brenner and David Heilman have almost nipped each other now 3 times coming off the exit of the straights because Heilman is on the inside. Now it's Chase Cabre. Cabre is working his way on the outside the high line. Still the fast one, the inside line, is really holding people up here, and that's kind of the problem. You start looking back to 10th, 11th position where Tim Ryan is. He is absolutely swarmed with cars, but he should be able to clear 3 wide coming off the exit. 1 car in the wall, and that is going to be the number 3 machine of Dylan Selman. That is caution number 1.
First caution of the night, and honestly, in a big gaggle of cars like this, 3 wide, always going to be a bit of a risk. Dylan had 1 car check up in front of him. You know what? That wasn't even Dylan's doing. He was sort of just wrong place, wrong time. It was the 17 and the 27 got into one another. Just really the product of very, very tight racing. They were nearly 4 wide coming off of corner number 4, and they pretty much just ran themselves out of room.
I think Kerstetter ended up getting a bit more grip than he was expecting, so his slide straightened out as Nevin was expecting him that slide to go longer. And yeah, for Dylan Semmelman, you got a feel for him. Absolutely nothing to do with that, just wrong place, wrong time. But you know what? Short track racing, that's what's going to happen. So we are behind the pace car, pace truck, pace vehicle, whatever you want to call it, For the first time today, the lights are out on it, however, which means that hopefully we can get ourselves back to green flag racing. We've had 8 laps, it'll be 9 by the time we tick. Coming to the green flag. So, base truck pulling in as Alex Bergeron. There we go. We get the green flag from the starter. Alex Bergeron lets it go. Ford Temple Sprint Cars back at it again, and the fields are tightened up.
You guys doing a good job here. You see multiple grooves already coming in, getting used by some people. Got one car about with a half spin. 44 of Ryan Pace. That was right in front of Phil Diaz. A couple other light contacts in the back as well. 10 Machine of Rusty Kruger got a little bit of a piece of it, but out in front, it's all pretty much single file and pretty much clear. As Alex Bergeron pretty much running away with the field. In 2 laps, he's opened up 0.6 of a second. Actually, north of 0.6 of a second on Austin Selman. David Heilemann, a further 0.6 back. You see him running the bottom while his 2 teammates in front of him are up against the cushion, and behind people running a variety of lines as well. The 70 car, Chris Brenner's running up top, as well as Cabre, Elby, and Howard Weaver. They've all pretty much single filed out. Howard's trying to make that middle work.
Yeah, we got lap traffic. Robert Kerstetter, number 19 machine, as Alex Bergeron has had to work his way around, and there's nothing more difficult than being a lapped car, as these machines need to be driven to the absolute edge, and it's really hard to drive it to the absolute edge and politely let everyone by. But you know what? Robert Kerstetter is getting it done, and he's letting everybody by, so that's good as Heilemann goes to the high side. Problem, I think, Randy, is when you start getting to these cars that are running the middle side, you know, the James Eaton's, Tim Ryans, that might start bounding everybody up.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I don't know if they don't have the cars set up properly for it. Maybe they don't feel comfortable running the top, but it seems like those guys running the middle can't quite get the bite off the corner. Same issue for those guys running down low. Maybe need to tighten the cars up. The future trying to do that, but still a lot of speed to be found up top, it seems like, and that's where guys have sort of slowly started funneling out. James Eaton's still running the middle. He's doing good times, but it seems like it's difficult to get around people that way. The 98 of Tim Ryan is now checked into the back of that 52 of James Eaton, so that's Tim moving up from 13th, what will be the battle for 8th place. He's still dealing with that 35 of Nick Cooper as well.
Alex Bergeron, meanwhile, he has got a gargantuan lead, 2.2 seconds. And since this is only a quarter mile as we hit past halfway, we've got 10 laps to go. Bergeron is in lap traffic earnestly, as we have finally had a good long green flag run. It is Austin Selman, David Heilemann, Brenner, Cabre, Albie, Weaver, Kerstetter, Edens, and Ryan. And I think somebody was in there I missed, but either way, as Kerstetter is actually that lap car, everyone's going on by. But looks to be, Randy, like we finally got one. It's Adam Elby. He ends up hitting the outside wall. That means Howard Weaver in that 07 machine is going to be challenging for 6th position.
You know Howard is going to want to move up there, but I think Howard's going to be smart with this. Howard, he doesn't have the greatest confidence in the sprint car. Then himself, the 74 Belby up top gets loose. He spins it around all by himself. He parks it in front of traffic, and you know what? He actually smart. I don't think he needed to do that. He took the car off the racetrack, but I think he just wanted to ensure he got out of the way. That's basically just a risk at himself. Well, let's say that just works against himself. So shout outs to that 74 for just pulling it off the track. I don't think he needed to in that situation, but wanted to make sure he didn't hold up anyone else, it seemed like, as we're going to get set for a very late race restart here.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if he had broken the rear axle. No, he literally didn't touch anything going around. So either way,
you saw him get in the wall the previous lap. He may have broken something then.
Yeah, maybe that's why he spun out. But either way, we are going to a single file restart. So this is going to be a single file restart to settle it. Alex Bergeron, he was clear of everybody. He was in lapped traffic. So we'll see. Will Ryan Pace or Austin Selman be able... Well, will actually be Austin Selman. Ryan Pace is lap traffic. They got to do a wave by. But David Heilemann, and then you've got Chris Brenner. Here we go. Pace truck pulls in. Alex Bergeron getting ready to rock and roll. He lets it go on the high side. Everyone following nice and clean. We are green for the final 4 laps here at Lima Land.
Everyone going right up to the top side. He's starting to see a fight in the mid-pack there. The 44 car is there. That car is a lap down. Howard Weaver is in the midst of this. He's trying to deal with that Ford machine of Chase Cabre. Also, James Eaton out behind. They're inside the last handful of laps to go. And Bergeron has already scampered away with the race lead once again.
So, as we're closing in here on 3 to go, it is just an Alex Bergeron show. He is obviously all set up weather, the temperature, however it is, he has got that thing completely dialed in to the high side as he's now going to be picking up 2 to go. As it's Austin Selman in your second position, then it's Heilman at Brenner. Everyone's staying comfortable. Eaton's been trying that inside line on Howard Weaver, but it just ain't coming to him. As Alex Bergeron will pick up the white flag, and it will be easy going. We finally had a good one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. Victory goes the number 12 of Alex Bergeron.
What a run for Alex. I think he's their first real repeat winner across the 2 series. And, you know, he came in, I think, to these championships the strongest driver on dirt. He's just gone back-to-back. He won here in the late models just a few weeks ago, and he pretty much dominated here tonight. There was no one close to that 12 car all evening. He was quickest in qualifying, unchallenged in his heat race, and Austin Selman and the rest of the field had nothing for him tonight.
No, and you know what, though, and this is probably my favorite thing to say, we didn't have the cautions where we constantly had to challenge his ability to do restarts, and you know what? We had a good couple of green flag runs. We only had, what, 2 cautions? Not a bad day, I have to say, Randy. This has been a fantastic race, and you know what? I think out of everybody here, Alex Bergeron's probably going to be the one happy about that when he was able to flex his muscle, really show people, hey, you better be worried because I am quite the quick driver.
I've got to flex the Canadian muscles there as Alex. He's going to do his traditional backwards victory last. Is a little bit of a wheelie. You don't want to be doing that in a sprint car, especially when you got the stagger on the right rear, because that'll drive you straight into the wall when you get on the gas going that direction.
Maybe what he's trying to do is climb the fence like, you know, drivers do after they win. You know how they climb
like
the
Helio?
chain link fence? Yeah. As either way, the results on your screen right now. It's Alex Bergeron, your victor. Austin Selman in the second position. In third, it's David Heilman. So it's a team VLR. 1, 2, 3. Not a bad day. Chris Brenner is going to be finishing in the fourth position. Chase Cabre. Then it goes to Howard Weaver, James Edens, and Tim Ryan, your championship point leader. He went from 13th to 8th. Matthew McKinney goes to 9th. Rusty Kruger. And 10th, Nick Cooper. And 11th, Philip Diaz will finish in the 11th position. Bradley Cash will come home in, Philip Diaz will come home in 12th. Bradley Cash will come home in 13th. AJ Nevin in the 14th position. And you've got Ryan Pace, Justin Thomas, Weston Newell, Robert Kerstetter, Adam Elvey, Dylan Semmelman, and that is your 20-car field as they finished here at Lima Land Motorsports Park for round number 3. The World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Championship Series. Randy, very, very pleased with this one. Gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back to interview our winning drivers.
Courage at the mile. What part did courage play in this victory?
Mike Kinzer going into the corner, trying to get by Dale Waxo, makes contact.
Hell of a lot, I'll tell you that right there.
So many times, everybody had lost track. Look at how it shot up on the center track.
Tell you what, that was some close races at a high speed.
The World of Outlaws create memories for fans every night. Now share your favorite Outlaw moment on social media. Whether it was 1978, 1998, or 2018, we want to know, what's your Outlaw moment? Did you sneak into a victory lane picture? Get whiplash driving past a parking lot full of crews at work? Or maybe you simply got to meet your favorite driver in the pits after the races. Tweet it, Instagram it, just use the hashtag MyOutlawMoment. You might even hear Voice of the Outlaws' Johnny Gibson share your memory at the track. Don't delay, start posting today. Let us know with My Outlaw Moment.
Welcome back, iRacing Live, Race Spot TV, Dirt Vision. Of course, we are here at Lima Land Motorsports Park. The engines are chilled now. The 410s have run their course. 3 heats, 1 consolation, and then a 7-minute feature for 30 laps around the Lima Land Motorsports Park, and that brings us our race winner. That is the number 12 of Alex Bergeron, victor here at Lima Land. Nobody had anything for you there as you absolutely demolished the field today.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, but we're quite fast in the late models, so I guess it's one of my tracks. So yeah, we kind of being up front all night, so that was quite something.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, Team VLR 123, not a bad day at all. Just seemed you were really hooked up on that outside. Did you basically build the setup for it, or is that just where you were comfortable?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was comfortable. All the teammates, well, all my teammates last night, me and Austin basically worked on the setup, and we make it happen. So that was quite a good car, and you know, thanks to Austin for a good car night, and all Team VLR guys. And yeah, the top line was quite fast, and I was trying not hit the wall and not crash myself out of the race while leading, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the result tonight.
Yeah, most definitely, and the result is as a result of only having 2 cautions, a lot of green flag run, and hopefully that's something that we can see quite a bit more of, Alex. I think maybe the competition won't be so happy about that, simply due to the fact that you've got such speed, but you know what, though? You were quick here, Tim Ryan was quick a couple weeks ago. Looks like we're going to get ourselves a good running here for the championship lead.
Yeah, I try to get a perfect night to get myself up in the championship lead and try to get myself an advantage a little bit for the next couple of races, and hopefully in the next race we're going to get a result like this tonight.
All right, Alex Bergeron, the floor is yours. Anyone you would like to say hello to, any sponsors you would like to thank, and, well, the floor is yours.
Yeah, well, definitely all the guys at Team VLR, Austin for a good car again, and their collective, RacingDude.com, MyRank, Their Car Racing, Ultimate Dirt TV, Flag Northville, and BK Designs for my awesome paint scheme. Thanks to you, Bob. And World of Outlaws for putting this on, and iRacing, and you guys for doing an awesome job all the time on broadcasting these races.
Of course. So that's your feature winner, Alex Bergeron, the number 12 machine. Alex, congratulations. And Randy, you are going to be assigned the number 18 machine of Austin Semmelman, and you are with him.
Yep, I'm stood by with that driver, that 18 car. Austin, I know you guys at Team VLR, a lot of work would have gone into this thing. What did Alex find that allowed him to be so much quicker over you? Because he just seemed to be on another level of the entire group tonight.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I made a gear. The gear is what it was. I went to a different gear for the heat race, and it was really fast. Really fast, actually. I think I looked at our time. Mine was a little bit quicker, maybe, than him in the heat. It was close, but when it was tacky, the gear that I ran was really good. I didn't think it would get as slick as it did, and I just left it alone, and that's kind of what it was. But he was really fast. He hit his marks and never screwed up. So he did a great job. I'm happy to get a podium for VLR here.
Now, this track seemed really racy tonight. We know that there's been some changes to the dirt. The model with the new update seems to really help the multi-groove racing, especially on the short track like this here at Lima Land, which, you know, traditionally a lot of the drivers didn't like on the last build.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't really run any races. I mean, I think I've run one or two leagues since the update even, and not many like hosted races, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I just kind of went with it, and the top was really hard to run. It was treacherous up there. I almost wrecked 5 times in the last 5 laps, so I wasn't very good there, but I'm happy to still get a decent finish.
Sprint car capital of the world in a couple weeks. That was honestly the best track in terms of racing that we saw on the last build. I think it's probably going to be improved with what we have here. Think we're going to see a good show?
I mean, yeah, if we can run as well, I think everybody did a great job tonight. If we can do as good as we did at Lima Land tonight, I mean, it should be amazing at Knoxville. So everybody did a good job, and looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for joining us, Austin. Congratulations on finally finishing up near the front where you want to be. It's been kind of a rough first opening couple rounds of both championships for you. Who gets it done for you guys at VLR?
New sponsor on board, Grandstand Video. Shout out to him. Everybody go like his page on Facebook. They do videos for racing across the Midwest. Thank you for him for being on the car, and Team VLR, Matt Hill, Dirt Division, everybody over there. So hopefully we can keep it going here.
There he is, Austin Semmelman, second place finisher tonight for Team VLR. 3 round sweeping the top 3 and 4 of the top 6. So they're going to be happy with that, as Cam has stood by with our final interviewee of the night, keeping it up with the VLR theme at number 5 at David Heileman.
David Heilman, yeah, so there you go, a VLR 1, 2, 3. But I will say, David, first question, how come you're the slowest of the 3?
Oh, Howard was behind me.
Oh, well, in 3 out of the 3 top finishers, I mean, of course, not for VLR.
Hey, at this point, I'm used to finishing behind Alex so much, it doesn't even bother me anymore.
So the track really was quick up top, but it seemed like a lot of cars had some trouble gripping that top side. You try the middle at all, or were you comfortable out there? It seems to me, you know, it was really one of those tracks where the outside was king, but, you know, if you were good on the inside, you could at least hold your position. What did you feel out there?
Yeah, all week I was just kind of looking for something that was comfortable, but it seemed like every track I was on, it was a little bit different. And, you know, the first 5 or 10 laps, because I started on the inside, I was pinging it down there, and then I was lucky to be able to get up into fourth, and then I was just cruising the top side, and a caution came out, and I was restarted on the outside, so I was able to get around Chris to get to third, and then I was just, I mean, Alex was gone. I was just trying to stay behind Austin and not hit the wall, and just kind of getting a rhythm and took laps off.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole of the day is pretty all right. You started in 5th in your heat and ended up finishing in the transfer position. Now you managed to come home in the top 3 here in the feature race. So we're heading over to Knoxville next time. Of course, the sprint car capital of the world. We finally got a good green flag run. Are we going to continue that theme, David?
Yeah, Knoxville, at least pre this update, was really good, really racy, especially once it gets to the top, it allows other lines to come in. So it's just going to be about how quickly that middle slicks off, and the grooves will open up from there.
All right. Anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Just thank the guys at Team VLR again. Another great performance. I hope Randy, we've proved to Randy that we're showing up to this championship. I know after the first week he was a little bit throwing some shade at us, but we got, what, 3 in the top 5 in the late models, top 3 here in the podium. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's at least a good run from you here. We'll see how you run at Knoxville, but yeah, either way, thanks very much for hopping in the booth with us. We appreciate it so very much, and go enjoy your celebration with the teammates. So, Randy, with that, we've had what we wish we could normally see on a weekly basis, but you know what? Maybe they've turned the new leaf. Well, on the schedule, you do see June 25th. We've got Knoxville, and we're going to head to Eldora, so a good couple of weeks ahead. Also, remember, we do sprint cars on one week. We do late models on the next week, so we've got late models next week. So, Randy, I got to say, we had, frankly, a really good race here.
Yeah, tonight they put on a really good show tonight. I'm really, really impressed, and I think we're going to be seeing that from the late models as well. The track improvements that the guys at iRacing made seem to have really, really helped. The fact that we saw a couple different lines come in and be viable here tonight. It's a high bank quarter mile, and you're always going to see the upper line really in these sorts of tracks really be strong. It's the way it is in real life as well. Anyone who's been to a little bull ring like that should know that, especially for open wheel cars. But we're going to Eldora in a week's time for those super late model series. I think those guys are going to put on a fantastic show at Eldora.
Yeah, Eldora, of course, you would normally think of perhaps, you know, of course, those wing sprint cars, those trucks, but those late models always put on a show, and you can find it on next Monday at 9 o'clock. And Hugo, let's cue the music and start heading on out. So, for myself, Cam Welch, for Randy Chenell, for Hugo Louis, for all of the workers, of course, that do all the development and all the overlays and all that work, we, of course, tip our hat and thank you very much. And, of course, we will catch you all next time, wherever that may be. Of course, you're watching iRacing Live, Race Spot TV, and Dirt Vision. Of course, thanks especially to you guys, the fans. We'll see you all in 1 week's time. I'm Cameron Walsh for the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Championship Series, signing off from Limaland. Congratulations to Alex Bergeron and Team VLR. We'll see you all in 1 week's time.